Hey everyone, this is DinoSasha here, and welcome back to another review. And today we're gonna take a look at the figure. It is the PNSO 2019 Sede, the Ankylosaurus. Now, Ankylosaurus, which name means fused lizard, is a genus of ankylosaurid armored dinosaur from the late Cretaceous period, about 68 to 66 million years ago, but has now lived in North America. The length was about 6 to 8 meters, 6 and 8 meters, 20 to 26 feet long, and weighed about 4.8 to 8 metric tons, or 5.3 to 8.8 short tons. Now, Ankylosaurus is one of the largest members of Ankylosauridae family, apart from Euoplocephalus and Pinocosaurus, for example. Ankylosaurus has developed the tail club on the end of its tail, which the club on the end of its tail to use as defense from predators, and protruded as osteoderms to cover its back, and the belly was vulnerable, for lucky it was too hard to push the Ankylosaurus aside from predators. Now, unlike most herbivores, the Ankylosaurus was a fully armored animal, and the predators has a hard time of it. So, it lived in a Hell Creek formation alongside with the Tyrannosaurus rex, Triceratops, Edmontosaurus, Anzu, Pachycephalosaurus, Alamosaurus, and of course the Cotaraptor. The herbivores mainly eat plants. And now, let's talk about this pretty cool figure, for example. The only species is the Ankylosaurus magnaventris, which is a perfect species for the Ankylosaurus nonetheless. And I must say, this Ankylosaurus is a perfect example of the armored species, which it's pretty nice to have addition on the tail, including from the underbody, which the belly is vulnerable, but lucky the armor is a full protection. Now, and I must say, this Ankylosaurus is a pure armor nonetheless. It's perfectly designed for an animal to have this appearance otherwise. It's basically just the thing about the sculptation, but it's pretty nice nonetheless. So, the pose is just roaming pose, I think. It's pretty good additioning on the Ankylosaurus, which is a pretty nice addition for an animal who's trying to survive. And basically, Anky is basically the tough living tank, nonetheless. But I like the details, because detail is purely osteos, nonetheless, if you want to know about it. Just beware if you need the Ankylosaurus for a very good cache of it. But I like details because due to resemblances. But anyway, let's gonna do something better else. The color scheme. Now the color scheme is a lot more different. It's a lot usual as we think. It's covered in the grayish side of it because not a good color scheme though. But because of the blurring on it, because I like the brownish, yellowish colors all over it, especially on the club tail, which is purely beige in color. I must say, basically just basic ones or something, but in the dark I could barely see it full. Underbody is a purely yellow in color, which basically I like how the yellowish spots are it, and especially brown spots. And the head looks like a scientifically accurate Ankylosaurus and not a completely different Anky as I was used to. Overall, a purely armored herbivore, but its basically look aside is still the same thing for an animal. Well, since the Ankylosaurus has a pure armor doesn't mean it's stupid. Now, this is just my opinion. Now, the accuracy, I think the accuracy has a bit of a good job. It is a clear, accurate Ankylosaurus. So basically an animal that was trying to make a perfect design of it, so it's just my opinion to know about what the animal was. So, we're gonna bring up a ruler and let's give this Ankylosaurus a measure. Terms from a length from the tip of the tail, always tip of the snout, we're reaching only at about 9 inches, and which is only at about 22.5 centimeters, and the height on top of the tail, which is only at about almost 2.5 inches, and which is only at about 6 centimeters. Now for comparison, I'm gonna bring up some other Ankylosaurus from the company, exception of the Nodosaurus. And here's with the most major ones. The Safari Limited 2018 Ankylosaurus. Now this Ankylosaurus has a lots of bumps all over it, while the other one has its usual stumps because of its basic ways. So this Ankylosaurus is a purely accurate dinosaur with its pure armor anyway. So I like the Ankies because of its armor, basically, just saying. I'm gonna link this Safari Ankylo in the link in the description box down below. And for another and last comparison, here's the Schleich 2020 Ankylosaurus. Now, there's a lot of cone-shaped osteoderms all over its back, unlike the Ankylosaurus is really less, because the Schleich has a cone-like osteoderms. So basically, I'm gonna review the Schleich Ankylo in the link in the description box down below. And the rating, I'm gonna give this Ankylo a smugly 10, which I'm just gonna switch to 9 out of 10, which it's a pretty nice figure, but I do not like the color scheme to the results. But people reviewing as a very good looking Ankylosaurus to be on the repair. So if you know about this figure, let me know in the comments if you want to do something. Well anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and click the bell for notifications so you'll never miss the video. And leave a comments below, and I hope you see you for another review about the TNG 2023 Cryolophosaurus. Goodbye everyone, and see you all next time.